Coming now to the present, I've begun work on making Wat Asokaram a permanent base for people yet to come. On December 5th, 1956, while staying at Wat Asokaram, I was given a rank and a title, Phra of the First Order, with the title Phra Sudidamakarya, without my having known or even thought about it beforehand. In December 1957, I learned that, again without warning, I had been given the rank of Chao Kun, with the title Phra Sudidhamaransi Gambira Medakarya. So I have decided to spend the reigns at Wat Asokaram ever since. In 1959, I started feeling ill in the middle of the reigns. Thinking of my illness, I began to grow discouraged about living on. There were days when my thoughts would turn away from my followers and be concerned only with myself alone. I would see places where I could find quiet and solitude as the highest form of happiness. Sometimes my illness would recede. Sometimes I'd be sick all night long, but I was able to bear with it. I had sharp pains in my stomach, and there was one day when I ran a very high fever for many hours. So when the rains were over, I came to rest at Somdet Phra Pin Clau Hospital. My first stay was for 3 days, November 2nd to 5th, 1959. But after returning to the Wat, I had a relapse, and so I re-entered the hospital on Tuesday, November 10th. Since then, my illness has slowly subsided. One day, lying in bed, I thought to myself, I want the fact that I've been born to be useful both to myself and to others. Even if I were to be born into a world where there is no sickness, I'd want to be of use both to the world and to the Buddha's teachings all of my life. But here I'm sick, so I'd like my sickness to be of use both to myself and to others. With this in mind, I wrote the following letter. Special room. Somdet Phra Pin Clau Hospital, the Naval Hospital at Pugalo. Concerning my food, I don't want anyone to worry. The hospital has everything I could want, so if anyone feels inspired to bring food, I ask that he or she take the cost of the food and the amount of money it would cost to bring it here and use the money to make merit in some other way, e.g. to compensate for all of the hospital's medicine I've used or, if there is money left over, to help pay for the poor and destitute who need hospital care. Wouldn't that be a better way to think? The building where I'm staying is a special building. It hasn't yet been open to other patients. The doctors have given me the best possible care and attention, without asking for even a single cent. Therefore, whoever has good intentions should think this over. In conclusion, I would like to donate some beds to the hospital as a memento. Whoever would like to help can contact either me or the director and assistant director of Somdet Phra Pin Clau Hospital, Phra Ajahn Lee. On November 11th, 1959, the Naval Hospital at Pugalo received permission from the Defense Ministry to change its name to Somdet Phra Pin Clau Hospital, one day after I was readmitted. When I had finished the letter, I thought to myself, at the very least, we should get 30,000 baht to help the hospital. So I had my intentions announced to my followers, and beginning that very day, people started donating money. On November 16th, a group of people from Samut Prakan came to see me at the hospital to tell me that A. There had been another car crash at Death Curve on Sukhumvit Road in Bangping, and B. A number of people had seen all sorts of frightening spirits appearing at the curve. I decided it would be a good idea to make merit and dedicate it to people who had died in accidents along the road. I went to consult the Deputy Governor of Samut Prakan and a group of my followers, and we agreed that we would have to make merit. The proceedings began the evening of December 18th. A group of monks chanted in a temporary pavilion set up by the side of Sukhumvit Road near the office of the Samut Prakan Roads Bureau. 50 phra were presented and the names of the curves on the road were changed as follows. Bodhi Tree Curve was renamed Bodhisattva Curve. Death Curve was renamed Safe Curve. Mido Curve was renamed Victory Curve. This finished, I returned here to the hospital that afternoon and have continued staying on for nearly a month since. The doctors and nurses have been very attentive and helpful. For example, Admiral Sanit Posakritsana, the director of the hospital, has been very attentive, bringing food to donate early each morning and looking after me as if he were one of my followers. During this period, I wrote a book, a handbook for the relief of suffering, to be distributed free of charge. I had no difficulties in having it printed. 2 of my followers helped print 2,000 copies. Kun Nai Lamai Amnue Songkram, 1,000 copies, and Navy Lieutenant Ayut Bunyari Traksa, the other 1,000. it seems that my aims have been realized fairly well. For instance, I wanted to collect money to help the hospital, and today, January 10th, 1960, as I leave the hospital after staying here 45 days, we've collected 31,535 baht, which shows that even when ill, I can be of use. Even when I die, I'd like my remains to be of use to those still living. I've seen one example, Kruba Sri Wichai, who is revered by people up north. He had made plans to build a bridge across the Mai Ping River, but died before the bridge could be finished. So some of his followers took his body and placed it in a coffin near the unfinished bridge, with a notice that whoever wanted to help with the funeral, please help finish the bridge first. In the end, even as he lay there rotting, Kruba Sri Wichai was able to be of use to the people. And so in my life, I've aimed at being of use all along, ever since I first went out to practice meditation in 1926 up to the present. I've taught students in a number of provinces and have helped set up monasteries for the convenience of Buddhists at large. In setting up monasteries like this, I've helped in two ways. 1. When my followers had set up monasteries on their own, but were still lacking in some way, I've offered assistance and encouragement. 2. When my friends were thinking of building monasteries but hadn't yet completed them, if they needed monks, I'd send some of my followers to live on a permanent basis. As for monasteries that my teachers had built while passing through from place to place, I've continued visiting and helping train the people living there. In Chanthaburi, there are 11 monasteries I helped to set up. In Nakhon Ratchasima, there are 2 or 3. There's one in Srisaket, and more in Surin. All are friends in meditation. In Ubon Ratchathani, there are many places. In Nakhon Phanom, Konkayan, Loi, Chayafam, Phetchabun, Prajanburi, Rayong, Trat, Lopburi, Chainat, Tak, Nakhon Sawan, and Phitsanuloke are monasteries where I've taught on a temporary basis, without setting up any monasteries of my own. In Saraburi, I've helped set up one monastery. Uttaradit is a place where I've trained people while passing through Lampang, Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai, Nakhon Nayok, Nakhon Pathom, and Ratchaburi. I've passed through and taught people, but without setting up monasteries. In Prajuab, some friends have begun setting up a monastery in Hua Hin district. In Chumpon, there are 2 or 3 monasteries. I've helped set up Surat Thani I've passed through, but haven't started a monastery. In Nakhon Sri Thamarat, I stayed for a while and helped start a monastery that has since fallen vacant Fatalung some of my followers have passed through. But as of yet, there's no monastery. In Songkhla, there are a lot of forest monasteries. In Yala, some of my followers have started establishing a base, and I myself have been there twice. During the dry seasons, I've made it a point always to go visit old students of my teachers. Sometimes I've gone off to meditate on my own. After I was reordained in the Dhammayut sect in 1927, I spent my first rains retreat in Ubon Ratchathani province. I then spent the rains in Bangkok at Wat Srapatham for 3 years, then 1 rainy season in Chiang Mai, 2 in Nakhon Ratchasima, and 1 in Prajanburi. After that, I built a monastery in Chanthaburi and spent 14 rains retreats there. From there, I went to India, where I spent 1 rainy season. Returning from India, I passed through Burma, and then spent the rains at Wat Kwan Mead in Songkhla province. After that, I returned to Chiang Mai for 1 rainy season, and then spent 3 rainy seasons at Wat Boromnivasa. Since Somdet Mahawirawong, Uan's death, I've gone out to spend 4 rains retreats at Wat Asokaram, the 4th retreat being in 1959. As I dictate this, I'm lying in bed at Somdet Phra Pin Clau Hospital, Thonburi.